Hi guys, Blacksmith here. Today I'm going to talk about something that's very important in sports betting. Some of you may already use this or have heard of it, but I'm going to talk about systems and rules. So to be successful in anything we do in life, we need to have rules or a system that we go by. If we just try and wing it and blag it as we go, we're not going to be successful. This is something that all handicappers see in their groups, all legitimate professional handicappers, which actually, there's not that many people who actually are proper legitimate handicappers who are profitable. So for those who aren't, it probably doesn't apply because your clients are going to be losing no matter what. But for those of us who are long-term profitable, there's nothing more frustrating than having a group. I've got over 100 people in my group at the moment, and a lot of them are very good at following the instructions, but there's still a very decent percentage, I don't know how many, but a significant margin, who can't help themselves. And if I say bet 1% of bankroll, they will bet 10. And it's this lack of sticking to a plan and a structure that makes most people unable to make a profit. Because if you bet too recklessly and then you have a bad couple of days, you kill most of your bankroll, or even all of it. And people want to get rich quick. They don't want to accept that it's not a get rich quick scheme, that it's profit over a long period of time that we're going for. Sometimes we will have very big cashes, but I mean in general, the ROI is not going to be like hundreds and hundreds of times your bankroll. So when we're making plays, not just when we're managing our bankroll, we need to have rules as well. And as you get experience, there'll be certain situations and certain rules that you have. For example, I used to handicap with someone who would never have two bets in the same game. So if we bet the money line for one team, he would not bet the over. If I said, oh, the over's looking good as a live bet, he would say, no, I do not bet the same game. His rationale is, what if there's no goals and you lose both plays? So you've got to factor that in. Obviously, there'll be some cases when you want to put more units on a game, but it's quite a good plan. It isolates his individual plays. So if one's bad and he gets something wrong, it's only one. If he thinks it's going to be a high scoring game and this team are going to score a lot of goals, maybe they don't get any, and then he loses the over and the money line. So there's rules like this. I met the football tipster, my football tipster, because I tipped Hungary to beat Georgia. Georgia were a public underdog, and in football, I love fading public underdogs. So that was kind of a system play for me. I also liked the stylistic matchup. But he did something that we both do a lot. He put a bet on Hungary in the 89th minute to win. It was 1-1. They scored. He ended up winning over £10,000 from a £750 stake. Now this situation is a rule that we use in our VIP group and actually the free group. When we see a quality team that are down or drawing, we bet them. If there's a top elite team like Man City, for example, and they are playing a much lesser team and then they go 1-0 down, especially if it's early, we're going to play their money line, because the elite teams and the best players in the world are the ones who perform under pressure. So it's a system play for us. We know it's going to be profitable. Obviously, it depends on what the odds are, but the odds are usually always great. Usually always. Most of the time, they will be very good. When it's 1-1, the system play is, we don't play it then because the odds probably won't be good. If it's a very big favourite, we will wait. We'll wait towards the end of the game. So many goals are scored in the last 5 minutes. So that's when we like to bet, when the odds are extremely high. And if the goal goes in before then, so be it. But it's better to wait and get that big odd, because then the next time we cash, we will get a massive cash at really big odds, just like the footy tipster did in that example. Yes, we might lose if we put the bet on when the odds were like 2.20, but by waiting, it means when we do cash, we're going to cash at a huge amount. So that's another rule that we would follow. So there's a lot of these rules that you can pick up. Fading public underdogs, betting elite teams when they go behind or when they're drawn. The more you cap and sports bet, the more you will get used to knowing these rules, and they will keep you safe. Things like only betting 1% of your bankroll per unit is a classic one. Other things can be, not betting certain teams when they've had a lot of away games and they've been traveling and they're fatigued. That's something to consider. There's all kinds of things. In UFC or MMA, fighters who've been on a long layoff, or fighters who've been knocked out recently and then they're going into the next fight just a few months later. Big red flag. Just as a rule, don't bet it. Once you've been doing it for a bit longer, you will build a system. Now, a system is a process that you go through. Me and the Footy Tipster, we both go through the same process with all of our bets. There is a method that I go through. Every time I make a bet, it doesn't matter what sport it is, I systematically go through and do each thing to check. And when all of the data lines up in all of these points, that's when I make a play. If it doesn't, I move on to the next game. It often takes quite a lot of games and studying multiple games, multiple fights before I find one where everything aligns and it's good to play. So these systems are extremely important. This is how you make your money. If you do not follow a system, it doesn't matter if you're profitable, because you will just mess up. Just like the VIPs we have who don't follow the suggestions, if you don't have a system or a process, your emotions will get the better of you. If you have rules, it keeps your emotions in check, because it's very hard to remove your emotions from the decision-making process. So start building your rules, guys. If you don't know how, join our free Telegram. You'll see some of the rules there. I talk about them all the time. Start learning. I post a lot of analysis as well, and free plays. We cashed the free play today that I posted. We've actually cashed most of the free plays. I think the ratio at the moment for the last couple of weeks is 4 out of 5 free plays have cashed. It's very good. And on average, the odds are also very high. We post decent odds. We don't just post low odds. Most cappers post very low odds, so their win-loss ratio is high. We don't care about win-loss, we care about profit-loss. And this is something else you should put in your system. Win-loss is not something to track. Profit-loss is all that matters. So guys, build some rules, build a system. In the next few weeks, maybe sooner, I'm going to talk about the system that me and the Football Tipster use, how we made so much money. He was up over 100 units last week. He made 72 units in a single day. And this is how he did it, following a system. He doesn't deviate. We had VIPs for a couple of days who were quite new, who weren't used to it, saying, oh, what's going on? I don't understand this. And then when the wins come in, they understand. Because what we do, the way we bet, is very different to every other handicapper out there. So guys, start putting rules in place. It will make you more money. Build a system. It will give you more structure and it will make your plays more consistent, but most importantly, it will stop you from making bad plays. Start doing that and you will get better. Join the free group, the link's in the description. If you want to sign up to our VIP service, go there. You will see in the pinned messages or some of the recent messages how to contact me at Blacksmith MMA, or you can just send me the payment and I will add you in to the VIP group. Thanks for your time, guys. We're going to have a massive week. We've got UFC coming back this week after a week off. We've killed it almost every week at the moment. We've actually got a max bet locked in for the next card as well, and I've got a big parlay this week. So join the free group because I will have plays there. I will also have a free prediction coming out in the YouTube shorts probably tomorrow. So keep an eye on that. And guys, start making some rules, build a system. This is how you're going to make profit long term.